Hello, my name's Emily Nolenberg. I'm a senior here at Porter High School, and today I have the pleasure of interviewing our Superintendent of Schools, Mr. Calvert. Mr. Calvert, how are you doing today?
I'm fantastic today, Emily. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. It's always a good day when I get to interview you.
Oh yeah, it's great to see you again as well. How's the spring semester of your senior year going on?
It's going really good. Definitely going by like a flash. Blink of an eye, we'll be graduating, and I'm super excited though.
I bet so. We're looking forward to all your great accomplishments and experiences when you leave us. We'll hate to see you go, but looking forward to see what your future holds. So It's been great doing this with you.
Yeah, thanks. So today we will be talking about parent and community involvement in the educational process in our district. So as you might know, being a parent yourself, parent and community involvement is super important in the educational process and in any area of working and just in life in general. So can you talk about what comes to your mind when thinking about parent and community involvement in our schools?
Sure, absolutely. When I think about parent and community involvement, it's very simple. Just come see us. We've got great things happening in our schools. Our students are doing great work, whether it's things here at Porter High School, things at our middle schools, things at elementary. Our students are doing great things, and I want our parents to come in and be a part of it. I want our community to see it, and then our teachers, that we have great teachers in this district. The way they teach, their passion for their kids is just second to none. And so it's really quite simple to me. Just our doors are open, come in and check us out, see all the good things we got going on.
Yeah, for sure. That involvement piece makes a crucial point from making just a good district to an excellent district, and
Absolutely.
I totally agree with you.
Absolutely.
So as superintendent, what are some of your expectations for our schools when it comes to communication between parents and teachers?
Well, there's no such thing as over communication. Nobody likes being surprised with things, so it's, when in doubt, send it out kind of deal. Our district's great in providing, of course, we got our Skyward Messenger system. I know a lot of people use Remind, it's good old-fashioned email, or phone, that's always appropriate. So my expectation is there's never too much communication, over communicate, give parents the opportunity to get involved, let them know what's going on in their classroom, let them know how they can help their kids, how they can come support all of our kids, just so that way, again, they can get involved and see what's going on. Something might spark their interest more than others.
Yeah, that's so good. And you mentioned a little bit, but what are some ways parents and community members can actually become involved in our school?
Well, that's one of my big initiatives this year is basically open our doors back up, letting our community in, letting them see what's going on. We just hosted our luncheon a couple weeks ago. So we had probably over 30 ministers from local churches come in, and they just got to know the district. And it was funny, the number one request from the campuses was, hey, can we just have people come hang out at lunch? Like a lunch buddy program, even high school all the way down to the elementary. So that's one specific example where they can get involved, just community stuff. And then, I know various campuses have parent-teacher organizations, there's booster clubs, all of that. So I think all a parent has to do is simply just call and ask, and we can definitely find a way to plug them in. Yeah,
that's so good. I love that you had that minister luncheon. That's a really cool way to just get the community involved. Like you said, having those opportunities just for the community to come and get to know each other with simply over lunch. That's really sweet.
Great response.
So you talked about community members and a little bit about students. So how do students fit into the communication discussion that we're talking about today?
Well, we've definitely seen that if nobody tells our story, or if we don't tell our own story, then nobody's going to tell it. And so that's what I would encourage students to do is, talk about your passion in the community, whether that's in a youth group, Sunday school, on your baseball team, softball team, talk about all the great things that are going on at school. So that way others begin to hear it, I would encourage students to tell their story. What do they love about New Caney ISD? Talk about their favorite teacher or what they do at recess, things like that. So I would just encourage our kids to brag on our schools a little bit.
Yeah. That's so good because that's going to spread to their parents, and then the parents spread it to all their friends too.
Yes,
so,
ma'am.
like we said, New Caney ISD is a fast growth area with an expanding business community, as we've seen in Valley Ranch and surrounding areas. So in what ways does the school district seek to develop connections with the larger community?
Well, again, it takes us all to produce a successful student, a successful graduate, and I really want our businesses to see us as somebody that we can really help. There's over 500 kids at both high schools graduating, and not everybody goes to college, but everybody's going to need a career. And so I would encourage our businesses to check out things with our high schools, with our counseling departments, with our career tech departments. There's a pipeline for future, employees here in our district that are literally right around the corner from them. So I would encourage them just to check us out from the employee standpoint. And then, our teachers, we like to spend local, buy local kind of thing. So just, again, make us aware of what's out there, what's available, and just come see us.
Yeah, that's such a good encouragement, one for students, just as they're graduating, that there are so many amazing businesses in this area that they should be honored to have a New Caney ISD student, right?
Absolutely.
So just speaking of fast growth, New Caney ISD will open West Fork High School in August. Can you talk about the process being made in getting ready to open?
It's definitely a big adventure for sure. Checking all the boxes to get a school ready for kids in August is a process, but it's definitely a labor of love. It's something special anytime you open a school, but like opening a high school, being the first principal, the first head football coach, the first band director, that sort of thing. So there's a lot of those opportunities to establish traditions and things when it comes from a hiring standpoint. But the construction is going great. It's a very massive building on the south side of our district. So, days like today, it's raining outside, so that can present some challenges of itself. But overall, kids are going to show up there in August, so we'll have it ready, and we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, what a great opportunity just coming in August to, again, get that community involvement and start from the get-go, which is really cool. So it's been nearly 1 year since you became superintendent. What has been your experience in your first year?
Oh, it's hard to believe a year's gone by already. I can't really imagine my life before being superintendent here, but it's been a great first year. I always knew we lived in a great area, we had a great school district, but now, being at the top and leading everything, essentially, it just confirms that, we have a great community. We're very blessed to live in a supportive community. We got great kids. I tell people that all the time. Our kids are special. We've got great teachers. We've really got some good things going on. So it just reaffirms to me just how special New Caney ISD is. We are unique. When we go different places around the state, we're getting a reputation for truly being a leader in Texas public education. So it's just confirmed a lot of thoughts that I had, but it's really just energized me more just to keep pushing and keep going. Yeah,
that's awesome. So that being said, what was one of your biggest lessons that you've learned looking back, just being this first year, relating to the community and how that you've seen that be?
Honestly, I would take it back to that communication piece. There's no such thing as too much communication, and never assume people know what you want them to know. Go out and speak to them, talk to them, make yourself available, that kind of thing. I always assume that people know what's going on in our district, but they want to hear about it, and a lot of times they want to hear about it from me. And so I really have had to make myself even more available out there to talk about the great things about our district and things like that. So just looking back on it, you never can communicate too much about all the great things that are going on, and then honestly talk about the things that are challenges that we've had. So just communicate.
Yeah.
For sure.
And not only are you on the top to the head over everything, but you also have 2 kids that go to school in this district. So what is your experience being a parent in this district?
Well, having 2 kids in a district, I've always said my perception as a parent is the best thing that I can have in my position professionally. But having 2 kids in the district, as an educator, we see different things and learn different things about a district. And when my kids came along, I knew I had to find a great district to put them in. If I work in a district, I want my kids to go to school in that district, and that's what we have here. And so I can say from the day they walk through the kindergarten door till my oldest is in 4th grade, about to turn 10 tomorrow, and my youngest is in 1st grade, they've had a great experience. They've had great teachers. They've made lifelong friends. So as a parent, I couldn't ask for any more from this district. And so, again, that's just another reason. Professionally, I'm just so proud to lead this district, all the great things going on. But as a parent, absolutely love it. My kids have had phenomenal teachers, great education. So we're looking forward to getting too old too quick. Middle school will come in a couple of years. But it's been a great experience as a parent.
Yeah, that's awesome. You touched on it a little bit earlier, how New Caney ISD is just expanding in so much, just for the whole state of Texas being a great example, leading in that. But also we live in Houston, and that's one of the greatest I might say cities in Texas. I've only lived here, so I wouldn't know. But so what about the Houston Rodeo? Is that a good community involvement? And are you going to the Houston Rodeo?
I love the tradition of the Houston Rodeo. Again, I've been here 6 years now, so I absolutely love that part of it. I gave up some tickets for my daughter's birthday party this weekend, so I'll not be attending. But I will say my very first concert ever was at the Houston Rodeo. I went and saw Rascal Flatts. So I got some special memories there, but I know you have a special connection to the livestock show and rodeo with a piece of artwork that went there.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So my 3D artwork made it to the rodeo auction for the art show. So that was a really cool experience just to be a part of that. And like you said, at school, we have so many programs that have opportunities like that to get not only involved here, but in the larger community. So like our mock trial, they just went to state, and that was in San Antonio, I believe. Wow. And just there's so many amazing programs and things that our district has to get involved, not only here in our community, but in the surrounding states and in all of Texas.
And that's what we want. We're all about providing students opportunities just to find their niche, what makes them tick in the world, and that's great to hear. And, congratulations on that accomplishment. That's no small feat in itself. But yeah, we love seeing our kids succeed locally, regionally, statewide, and even on a national level at some point. So that's great to hear.
Thanks again, Mr. Calvert, for having this conversation. I know it's super influential in my life, but then also just for the parent and the parents in this community to hear from you and to learn more about what you're doing in the district. So thanks for joining us today.
You're welcome.
Yeah. Again, thanks for joining us on this episode of Conversation with Mr. Calvert. We hope you enjoyed and learned something new from this episode. Again, as we've been talking about parent and community involvement, we want to challenge you as a community member to go and get involved and learn about what New Caney ISD is doing here.